Someone sent a message. The subject is convert to Chabad, and it says, wondering if you can make a video about your views on conversion. I'm African American who wants to convert to Orthodox Judaism. I've been wanting to do this for over 3 years. Thing is, I'm only 17 now. What do you suggest I do in preparation? I won't say the name because in case it's a personal journey and you don't want someone to find out. First of all, in preparation, like with anything, you just have to learn about the Jewish concept of God and the role of the Jew in the universe and the role of the universe in general. And you have to understand what a serious yoke it is, the entirety of the Torah. It's a demanding life, it's a challenging life. It's a life that sometimes in your entire transmigration it'll be completely fruitless physically, if you're looking for physical reward. We believe that reward by and large is meted out, not in this world but in the world to come, either spiritually with the soul or in the days of Messianic redemption. Then it would be physical, let's say the resurrection, then it would be physical. But if you've been feeling this for 3 years, it's a very strong sign, I would say. I would just learn as much as possible about, and you say convert to Chabad, I just want to say it's convert to Judaism we're talking about. There's no such thing as you can't convert to Chabad, you can become a Lubavitcher Chassid, but I don't know if that's what you meant. You said Orthodox Judaism. And then what I would do is just the way the process begins by you contacting an Orthodox rabbi in your community that's close to you and telling him of your intentions and working with him. And an Orthodox rabbi can convert you if he chooses to. And that's it. So, and also in terms of preparation, in terms of what to study specifically, he'll be able to interview you and see your background, see what you know and what you don't know. He'll be able to suggest to you what you should be learning during this process. Wish you much success and blessing in your life and your journey. And it's interesting, there's a lot of similarities between African Americans and Jews in general. There's two people, historically, we have clearly documented that they were enslaved at some point. People always say have a I don't think it's a nice question. They always say, can you explain why the Jews were also enslaved in Egypt, but when they left, they became very successful. African Americans did not become so successful. First of all, that trend is obviously changing greatly, as you can see from our president and businessmen, doctors, lawyers. I mean, there's I don't sense a real minority gap in the professional world or in the scholarly world, in my opinion. But I don't have statistics to prove it up, just saying what I feel. Obviously, it could be better, it could be worse. Okay, but even if it were happening, but irregardless, the difference is, I think, when the Jews were enslaved in Egypt, the rectification was that they had to leave Egypt. They had to get out of there, and there was a 49-day process that we now commemorate by Sfiras Omer, by the counting of the Omer period, from Pesach, our liberation, to Shavuos, the giving of the Torah. And in these 49 days, we see it as a chance of personal self-rectification, of introspection, of correcting emotional attributes that have to be corrected. And this corresponds to what God himself had to do to the Jewish people on their way out of Egypt. That they were also not in a position to receive Torah. They were, in their own eyes, slaves. God was trying to show them miracles and wonders the whole time, that your real slave master is God. He doesn't have a body. It's not Pharaoh. And finally, by the 49th day, I guess he deemed that they're ready to receive the Torah, and then he gave them the Torah on Shavuos. I guess it would be the 50th day, technically. But, so my point is, in American history of American Africans and their enslavement, they didn't leave this country. And when you don't leave a place, it's very hard to rid yourself of that mentality, because you have memories and you have stories from your ancestors. And it's very unfortunate. There's actually a movement, I think his name was Malcolm X, I think. But I don't think it was his original name, but I don't know what it was. But I remember reading once that there was a certain man and he was imprisoned at one point, and he had a strong movement to move African Americans back to Africa, saying this is where we came from, and this is really our land, and why were we kidnapped? We didn't have such a bad life over there. They just saw us as inferior creatures, as it were, and they were all God's people, all God's children, and they chose to enslave us. But he said that that's our homeland, and to there we shall return. Something around those lines. I'm sorry, I can't quote it more exactly. But and this, in general, is a Jewish concept too, that we hope to go back to the land that God promised to the descendants of Israel, to the 12 tribes, the Jewish people, and we hope and pray for that every single day. And it's not really, because now Jews, we've been around for so long, there's so many converts from all different races. It's not a thing of segregation, but it's what we were promised according to our prophets, and even according to the Rambam, you can infer from what Moses says, that we're going to go back to the land of Israel, and we're going to be able to live there peacefully, and learn Torah all day and have a sacrificial service of the temple. So I don't know. I just see a lot of similarities, and I hope that I hope you know you're not coming from a place where you were discriminated against to a place where you won't be discriminated against. I would say just the opposite. You're going to now add further to discrimination against you, because people have a very negative understanding what Jews are and what Judaism is. I'm trying to combat it, as are many Jews, but it's one day at a time, and it's part of it you'll see is in the Torah itself. This kind of promise that forever Esav is going to hate Jacob. Rab Shimon Bar Yochai says, Rab Shimon says, the author of the Holy Zohar. Okay, I hope this helps, and God bless.